Yo, what's up, YouTube? Today we got another reaction video. It is beautiful old lady falls in love with young man. It's a movie cinema clip thing. Dingy bajiggy, y'all know what I'm talking about. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Don't forget to join the family. It takes you 1 second. Just join the family. And let's get into the video.
This young man have a love fight every night and are caught by this young child. The story begins on a quiet island, where a skilled writer named Ted lives in a beach house with his emotionally distant wife, Maren, and their young daughter, Ruth. The home is filled with memories of the past, particularly of Ted's two sons, Tom and Tim, who tragically died in a car accident a few years ago. Their photos still hang on the walls, silently reminding the family of what they've lost. The incident deeply affected Maren, leaving her stuck in a state of grief ever since. In contrast, Ted stays occupied with his writing, often leaving their daughter under the care of a babysitter named Alice. Ruth, though still young, becomes curious about her brothers and learns the heartbreaking story of their death. She often gazes at their pictures, quietly longing to understand the loss that has left her family so broken. One day, Ted decides to hire someone to assist him with daily tasks, particularly driving, since he lost his license 3 months earlier. That's when Eddie enters the picture, a young man eager to work for Ted. Ted speaks to Maren about hiring Eddie, and during their conversation, it becomes clear that their marriage has become strained since the accident. The emotional distance between them prompts Ted to suggest they take a break, and Maren agrees, deciding to spend some time away at a hotel in the city. That night, Ruth wakes from a disturbing dream. Ted comforts her by turning the dream into a story, helping her drift back to sleep. Inspired by this moment, he starts writing a new book based on Ruth's dream. The following morning, Maren picked.
I'm looking at the camera like, why does this one side look so goofy compared to this side? Or am I tripping? I'm not tripping, bro. What the fuck?
Picks up Eddie and brings him to the house. Eddie is surprised to see Maren instead of Ted and finds her attractive from the moment they meet. Once at the house, Ted introduces Eddie to his workspace and daily routine, informing him that he will be staying there full-time. Admires Ted's work, is thrilled about the opportunity and hopes to learn from him. During the house tour, Ted confides in Eddie about his troubled marriage and the recent separation. Eddie also meets Alice, the sweet and responsible babysitter, and soon learns that Ted doesn't just write, he paints, too. His artwork often features women, something Eddie finds both surprising and intriguing. Ted even hires a woman named Evelyn to model for his paintings. Soon after, Maren makes another appearance, and Eddie, growing more curious about her, ends up following her to the theater. There, they bump into each other again, and Eddie explains that he's out for dinner since he doesn't eat at home. Maren casually tells him that she'd like to take him out for a proper meal sometime. Later that night, back at the house, Eddie finds himself alone and aroused, fantasizing about Maren.
I was already saying that nigga ready to jerk the chicken, boy. Hey, you about to get some lotion, man. I can't swear.
But he's nearly caught when Ted and Ruth return unexpectedly. The next day, Maren visits the house again. Later, Eddie is home alone, and while snooping, he comes across a piece of Maren's lingerie. Once again, he gives in to temptation, but this time, Maren unexpectedly walks in and catches him in the act. To Eddie's surprise, Maren doesn't lash out. Instead, she gently apologizes for not checking in earlier and reassures him that what he did is natural for someone his age. Though embarrassed, Eddie opens up to her, admitting that he's been thinking about her ever since their first meeting. Maren listens quietly, offering no clear response. The next day, Eddie drives Ted to Evelyn's home for a painting session. While there, he notices that Maren had left her underwear behind, another subtle but suggestive hint that things between her and Eddie may not stay innocent for long. That evening, Maren and Eddie go out for dinner together, sharing a long conversation. During their meal, Maren casually asks Eddie why he never tries dating Alice, the babysitter. Eddie replies that Alice isn't interested in him that way. After spending some time talking, they return home. The next day, Maren visits Eddie's room.
I ain't gonna lie, boy. If I was Eddie, I'd clap too. Shawty low-key fine. She low-key a MILF, boy. I would fuck. I guarantee most niggas fuck. Most niggas will fuck. She's low-key bad, bro.
and begins explaining the meaning behind the photographs and artwork decorating his space. The conversation slowly becomes more intimate, and the two begin to grow physically closer. Later, Ted brings Eddie along to a reading event where he presents a chapter from one of his books to a small audience. While listening, Eddie realizes that Ted's stories are deeply personal, drawn entirely from his own life experiences. On the way back, Ted thanks Eddie, saying that since he came into their lives, Maren seems to have found a bit of her old happiness again. Days pass, and one night, young Ruth walks into her mother's room and catches Maren and Eddie in an intimate moment. Upset and confused, Ruth begins to cry. Maren comforts her, trying to calm her down. Eventually, Ted learns about Maren's affair with Eddie. While driving with Eddie, Ted brings it up directly. He tells Eddie that if his marriage falls apart, he'll need Eddie's help in court, specifically, to testify against Maren in a custody case for Ruth. After this confrontation,
God damn.
Eddie questions Maren about why she stays with Ted.
Like, on some real shit though, like, do niggas not know what locking the door is? Like, genuinely. Like, nigga busting a nut. Dude walk. Alright. First off, lock the door the next time. Alright. No, he didn't. Shotty girl walks in. Alright, boom. So you ain't learned that. Alright, boomskis. Fucking lock the fucking door. 3 times you didn't lock the door. 3 times. Ah, niggas.
Maren admits that while Ted is a devoted father to Ruth, she can no longer tolerate his obsession with painting, especially since he began by painting nude portraits of her. Her affection for Ted has clearly faded, but she recognizes his role in their daughter's life. That night, while Eddie is showing old pictures to Ruth, she asks to keep one for herself. Maren agrees, but Ruth accidentally drops the frame and cuts her finger on the glass. Eddie and Maren rush her to the doctor. When Ted hears about the incident, he becomes furious with Eddie. The next day, as Maren shares another quiet moment with Eddie, she breaks down in tears. She confesses that she plans to leave everything behind, her home, her marriage, her grief. She tells Eddie that on Friday, they will take Ted to Evelyn's place but won't return for him. That day, she plans to gather the photos of her sons and disappear for good. On Friday, Eddie drives Ted to Evelyn's home. Evelyn, already upset with Ted, lashes out in anger when they arrive. At Evelyn's house, tensions reach a peak when she angrily destroys all the paintings Ted had given her. Eddie quietly leaves Ted there and returns home. Meanwhile, Maren, determined to leave without any obstacles, sends Ruth to the doctor with Eddie to get her stitches removed, knowing she can't leave while her daughter is around. After Ruth's appointment, Eddie stops by a photo studio to repair the broken family picture. He requests to collect the restored photo the same day, concerned that Ruth would be heartbroken not seeing her mother in the picture. The manager initially refuses, but Eddie opens up and explains the entire situation, including his involvement with Maren and her sudden departure. Moved by Eddie's honesty, the manager finally hands over the repaired photograph. Eddie and Ruth return to find Ted fuming. Eddie delivers Maren's final message: she has left for good. All the photos of her late sons are gone too, leaving Ted devastated. His home now feels empty, not just without Maren, but without even the memories of their lost children. Later that evening, Ted sits down with Eddie and opens up about the tragic night that changed everything. Years ago, the entire family had gone out drinking. One of the boys, inexperienced and under the influence, took the driver's seat. With snow covering the car's headlights and taillights, something Ted had failed to clear, a truck didn't see them on the highway and crashed into their vehicle. Both sons died in the accident. In the aftermath, Maren had Ruth, hoping the child would ease her sorrow, but it never truly healed her. Eddie is shaken by the confession and can't understand how Maren could still walk away from Ruth. The next morning, Evelyn's former housekeeper visits and tells Ted that Evelyn has dismissed her.
Low-key chat, I'm low-key locked in, bro. Like, I really want to know, like, what's going to fucking happen, bro. Like, it's only, like, 40 seconds left. I feel like she low-key killed herself.
In a surprising turn, Ted hires her as both a driver and Ruth's caregiver, and eventually makes her his new wife. After saying his goodbyes to Ted, Eddie leaves. Ruth, now in better hands, starts to find a bit of peace. The film concludes with a quiet sense of closure.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget.
Damn, chat. Like, they just handed the girl over and was just like, it was done like that. Like, damn. Yeah. Like, I hope niggas don't do that shit. Like, bro, that's tragic. Niggas just handed her over to a stranger and was like, hey, are you in better hands now? Peace. Like, nigga, what? That shit crazy work. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Tell me what y'all would do in that position. Would y'all bust some cheeks? Cause I would. Yeah. Don't forget to put God first and love your family. Peace, y'all.